finally getting back to me, my art. All I want to do is art. And the other thing is that I love stories. So like to me, art isn't everything. Your art is your voice, your speaking, your connection. You can feel everyone's energy. That's your art. It's the art of living to me. So art and hustle to me is the art of living and art of it and everything.
I hope that you cut that piece right there and make it your intro and your outro, because that was dope.
Welcome. Hi. Welcome to the Art and Hustle Gallery of Conversations. We have here today Nikki.
Yeah.
And we are doing live on TikTok and we're recording the podcast at the same time. So I'm excited. We've already started. Tell us, what did we do so far? We've done the foundation, the scrub.
The skincare is like the main thing, just to make sure that the application is going to come out perfectly. So we did a lemon scrub, we did an oil, a cleansing oil, then we put on moisturizer, collagen moisturizer, and then we used a green tea, aloe, and cucumber spray.
Use that.
Yes,
right?
Love it. With our sponges. And then we applied some concealer.
This is my sponge?
Yes, my dusty old sponge that needs to retire. Then we applied some concealer, some contour, a little bit of bronzer, blush, and liner and mascara.
Yes.
For Miss Linda here.
Liner. Yep. And now we're going to do a lip tint?
A lip tint. Yes.
Okay. So I have this one that she's giving me. Ooh, a wine lip tint.
I'm going to do the same color if I can find it. Shiraz red. Yep, got it. Okay. Awesome. So this is really cool.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Isn't it? It's a wine bottle.
It's a wine bottle.
The cutest little bottle ever.
How cute is that? I'm excited.
And then when you open it, it's like a red jelly.
Oh my god, it's so cute.
Consistency. Let me take off the...
What are you taking off?
I have chapstick
okay.
on my lips. So yeah, I'm just gonna apply this, and it takes like 2 minutes to dry down.
And then what do you do? Do you wipe it off?
You can.
Or you leave it on?
I leave it on.
I
have seen some people wipe it off, but for me, as soon as it dries down, it doesn't budge.
Oh, okay. So this is a lip tint?
It's a lip tint.
And how long will it last?
24 hours.
Oh, just for the podcast, we're doing how to look good on a podcast today with Miss Nikki, who I've been doing my Sundays with Tom.
So much fun. And
so, yes, I was just talking to Nikki and asking her, since I was having some technical difficulties, so we're kind of starting over today. But this is how it rolls. I'm like, there's no filter, there's no craziness, there's no perfection of anything. So
no,
we're just gonna roll with the punches, and we're gonna start over. So we're gonna start over. And I was asking Nikki if any of her family members have seen it and what they thought.
So from what I know so far, a few of my aunts and my bio dad have watched the podcast, and they were all, my bio dad, he was hysterical.
Really?
Yeah, he was in tears.
Aww.
When he called me, he's
really?
like, oh my god. Yeah, he was in complete tears.
Yeah, and then we have to go back. The last podcast we went deep into Nikki's life and being adopted at a young age and the process of all of that and unpacking all of that story. And I wanted to let everybody know that I'm honored that this is the first time that you've talked about these very deep things that's happened in your life.
Yeah,
so I'm honored to be that person,
to
be able to give you that space to tell your story.
Yeah,
so thank you for trusting me in your story.
Thank you for allowing me to do this, because one thing with my adoption, I've always been very, very open about it. Everybody I know knows that I'm adopted, but I've never really gone into detail about my story, especially on social media. That's not something that I've done yet. So I'm honored to be able to speak about it on your channel and on your podcast, because it's something that a lot of people go through, and it's not really talked about a lot.
And that's what I wanted to do with the podcast, is to hear people's stories, and I feel like stories will heal. So one thing I've learned, of one of my things I'm doing as I'm doing these podcasts, I'll find like little tidbits of things that I really believe in, and it's kind of like a slogan for my page of like, you know, one story will heal another story, you know. So like, to me, art is in everything, and it's the art of living right now. So like, I have a story eventually that I want to tell, and it's
I can't wait to hear.
It's a really, 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 really hard story to tell. So I feel like me doing this is kind of me slowly unpacking that to be able to have the confidence to tell it where I won't cry, because like I'm gonna start crying.
No,
so
it's okay. It's okay.
So, I'm gonna wear my makeup.
I've talked about my adoption a lot to other people, you know, not on social media, but just in person, and every time I talked about it, the emotions were always so raw in the beginning. So I understand that completely, and it does take a really long time to be able to open up about, you know, trauma that has happened as a child and within your life. It's very hard.
Oh yeah, so tell us about, because the last podcast we talked about how you found your mom, so I want to find out how you found your dad, because we didn't know. Oh my God, so tell us the story about how you found your dad.
So my birth
As
mom,
I, you know, stop crying. So you distract them.
Before I get into that, what do you think of the lip color?
I think it's beautiful.
It's such a strong, bold red.
I love it.
Right?
I love it.
It's like such a great lip.
You know what it
for
reminds me
a
of?
night
Like
out.
Gwen Stefani.
Yes.
And I love Gwen.
I love
Gwen Stefani.
Yes, I do want another.
Just so people know, I have this pack of old gum in this Altoid thing because I don't know why.
Great.
I don't know why.
I love it. It doesn't taste old.
Okay, good. So yeah, it reminds me of like Gwen Stefani, and I love Gwen Stefani. So
all we need is a blonde wig.
I don't know. So I got a little bit of blonde.
One of those.
I have some blonde.
So yeah, I took an ancestry DNA test that my birth mother sent me in hopes to find my bio dad's side of the family, and I did. As soon as I got my test back, I looked at the matches, and sure enough, his name was the first one on the list. And I don't know if I mentioned this in the last podcast, but my birth mother was very adamant about me not finding him.
No, you didn't say that.
I didn't. Okay, yeah.
Oh
She was very adamant about me not finding him for years.
And she told you this?
No.
Oh.
No. You could just tell.
Oh, you could just read her.
Yeah.
Like
so she, for years, 10 years, I told you that me and her were in contact for. So for 10 years, I was under the assumption that my bio dad's name was something else.
Really?
Yes.
From her?
From her. And
this is exclusive, guys.
Yeah. When
I
got my match back and I read the name
to her,
not even to her, just to myself. Just reading the name, seeing the name, it clicked in my head.
Really?
Because I think I told you there was a pamphlet that I got with like different characteristics and stuff like that.
Like things they liked or whatever.
His real name, was on that paper, and I forgot about it.
Really?
For 10 years. His real name was on that paper, and I forgot about it.
Really?
For 10 years, I forgot about that name on that paper. So I was going by what she always told me.
Really? So when you got the name, did you immediately go look at the pamphlet? Or you just knew?
No, I couldn't find the pamphlet. I just knew.
You just knew.
It just immediately, the light bulb went off, and I was like, that is him. That's his name. That's what
you just remembered.
Yeah.
Instantly, like a flashback.
It took me back to when I was 17, looking at these paperwork, almost 18.
Holy shit.
You know, that's when I found her.
Yeah.
So, I knew.
Wait, what age were you?
I was 18 when I found her, but I started looking for that paperwork when I was 17. Okay. And then when I turned 18, I finally went back to that pamphlet. And so I messaged this lady. Well, I messaged my bio dad, and this lady answered me back, and she was someone that managed his page. Yeah. And she thought that they were siblings through like a cousin or something that told her like maybe my grandfather was her dad, because he used to play games or whatever.
Okay.
So she thought that. They took the test and they turned out to be cousins. So, you know, time went on. Neither one of them were thinking. Okay. So his dad would have, she thought he was her father.
Okay. Oh,
sorry. So she's giving me different information, gave me his Facebook.
Was she nice?
She was so nice.
She was nice?
I talked to her on the phone. She was a doll. She was the one that, you know, really, really tried to help me.
Yeah.
And she was like, yeah, he's a great person.
Yeah.
He has, you know, all these kids. And seems to be a great dad.
Yeah. And where does he live?
Okay. At the time, he lived in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts, okay.
So, you know, she's telling me all this information and she gives me his Facebook, so I messaged him on Facebook and I'm like, hey, you know, I just matched to this person with your name on Ancestry, and the person that, you know, manages the page sent me to you. Yeah. And he wanted nothing to do with me. Yeah. He wanted nothing to do with me.
He said this?
Yeah. He said that...
What is this?
First he said, you know, you seem like a great girl and no one deserves to go through not having a father in their life and this, that, and the third. And, you know, how he wishes that I was his daughter because I seem like such a bright, beautiful young lady and this, that, and the third.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
What kind of shit is coming out of his... What kind of shit... I'm sorry.
It's fine.
There's a kid here.
You're good.
I'm sorry.
He's in the other room. The door's closed.
Okay. I'm like, what kind of shit is coming out of his mouth? You must have been like dropped. Your jaw was probably dropped. Like, what the fuck are you saying to me?
Yeah. Yep.
Right?
I was like, all right. That's not the direction.
Oh, I'm sorry. So it's live and it's recorded. I want to say something else, but I'm trying not to say
it.
You're
fine.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, he was just like denying it. I told him who my bio mom was.
Yeah.
Gave him all the information that I had.
And what did he say when he heard those names?
Like, he said, I don't know who that is. You have the wrong person.
No.
And I've heard this before because I've, you know, searched for a long time.
Okay. So you've heard this like constant like no. Yep. So you're just like used to it.
And yeah.
So were you used to it?
I was used to it, but
you knew that he was your dad.
I knew it.
So the fact that he was saying
in my heart, as soon as I saw a picture of him, I could just tell. I knew it.
So what's going through your mind when he's telling you all of that?
Basically what I thought my entire life. Oh, he's just another piece of shit Spanish dad that doesn't want to be involved in their kids' lives, and you know,
it's that trauma.
He's just,
that trauma, that unconsciousness.
Because that's how.
Well, it's not unconscious as much as it. Yeah.
No, I get what you mean, but that's kind of how I knew him my entire life.
Just another deadbeat dad that just walked away from the kid, basically. Okay.
You know, and he said to me, you know, even though you weren't my daughter, we could still chat on here and be friends. And I was like, why would you want to be friends with a random girl?
Yeah,
who
20? What is how old are you?
29. Yeah. You know, why would you want to be friends with some random 29-year-old girl? Like, that didn't make any sense
appropriate.
To me. No.
Okay.
And that's how I knew that he was. I'm like, you're just trying to keep me around to see if I am a good person, to see if something might click later on in your head that's like, oh wow, she is my daughter.
So he just didn't want to admit it because he was being guarded, maybe?
Oh, absolutely. Maybe. He was in a 20-year relationship with this lady who is the mother of my youngest brother, and she wants nothing to do with me. She thinks that I'm a sick individual that made up all these crazy lies. His
wife.
Girlfriend, because they were never married. Yeah. So she was in his ear the whole time, like this girl, because before he answered me, I found her page. Okay. And I saw that they were in a relationship, so I messaged her. Yeah. Saying who I was and, you know, that...
So, you messaged her first?
I messaged both of them.
Oh,
I
both of them.
messaged her and him, but he didn't read it at first. She did.
Oh.
So I'm assuming that she went to him and was like, what the fuck is this? Another kid? I messaged his first. He didn't answer. And I was very impatient. So I went on his page and saw that he was in a relationship with this woman. Her, and then so I messaged her and I was like, hey, I already messaged him, but, you know, I didn't get a reply. So So I thought maybe, messaging you would be better, you know, thinking a woman to a woman.
Just to let you know what I'm going through. Here's the story.
She said to me, "Oh, I'm sorry, you have the wrong people.
Oh.
I hope you find, what you're looking for."
Oh, okay.
But then she went on to say how sick in the head I am to try and, ruin a family and this, that, and the third of, that
well,
I'm
first of all,
mental.
this is technically a mother.
Technically.
Not
a good one.
Yeah, exactly. First of all, like, as a human being, you shouldn't do that to another human being, because you should come with, I had a podcast I did the other day where we're talking about like compassion and empathy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You should be coming with compassion and empathy if you got this random text and be like, oh my God, this girl has been looking for her father.
Her entire life.
Her entire life. And so even though this might hurt me finding out about this, let's figure it out.
Yeah.
Like that should be how it should have been.
Because it's just, she's irrelevant.
Okay, so let's move on from that.
Okay. So I started messaging since I got the, really bad experience in talking to them. I started messaging other people that I was matched to on Ancestry.
Basically his family.
Yeah, his family.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, the whole spiel.
Yeah.
I found him. He doesn't want anything to do with me, but do you guys, So I got in contact with cousin. And this is my second cousin. It's his sister's daughter.
Okay.
So I message her and tell her who I am, and she's like, I know who that is. She's like, that's my uncle. And I'm like, really? No way. I'm like, is it on your mom's side or your dad's side? And she's like, it's my mom's brother. And I'm like, oh my God, that's so cool. So I give her my number, and her mom ended up calling me and like was asking me all these questions. And I'm like, yeah, I can send you guys all the information that I have from Ancestry that shows how much DNA is shared and, so on and so forth. So I sent them all that information, and then one by one I started getting calls from all of my aunts,
really,
and all of my uncles, and then I started getting calls from my cousins, and they all started adding me on social media, and we were all talking.
God, really?
Yeah, this was during the pandemic.
Wow.
Yeah, 2020, the summer of 2020. I took my test and got my results back in August of 2020. And started talking to them almost immediately. I found out that I have 5 siblings from him.
Oh.
Yep. I have 5 siblings from him.
Yeah.
I have 2 sisters and 3 brothers.
Different women?
Yes. 3 different women.
3 different women.
3 different women. 2 of my siblings are from the same mom. One of them from another mom, one of them from another mom. Oh, okay, sorry, 4. 4 different moms.
4 different moms.
Technically 5 if you're including me.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah, so 5 different moms.
5 different moms.
My birth mother, my sister and brother's mom, my other sister's mom, the youngest brother whose mom wants nothing to do with me, and then the last brother, we don't really know much about him. He was in foster care, so we don't know where he is.
Okay.
And if he really is our brother or not.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of up in the air.
Okay.
So,
his siblings have been nice and
my aunts and uncles have been
cousins, all of
great.
them, right?
Everybody has been really awesome.
Really?
I started to have a really good relationship and bond with them. I was talking to them
and that's
all the time.
what nationality? Spanish?
Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. 100% Puerto Rican.
And then what nationality is your mom?
Irish, German. Not German. Irish, Yugoslavian, English, Scottish, like just a whole bunch of European, white European on her side. Okay. And then I'm actually Spanish, and then indigenous Puerto Rican. Okay. And I'm African. Ooh. I'm like 12% African.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Crazy.
So the funny thing with that story, like I always like as I'm talking to people on these podcasts, as you share something, I like to share something because then I feel like it's like more interesting, right?
No, definitely.
So it's funny, like everybody thinks I'm Korean. So everybody will ask like, oh, you Korean? I'm like, no, I'm Chinese. And like even Korean people will think that I'm Korean, you know? So I don't know, maybe it's this cheekbone.
The cheekbones,
this
the high cheekbone.
I think it's the high cheekbone of it. So everyone thinks I'm Korean, right? So I was like, okay, so for Christmas, I got my boyfriend one of those Ancestry little kits. So I got him one, I got myself one. I'm thinking, you know, maybe like there was an affair somewhere, you know, someone,
like something,
yeah. I'm a love child for, you know, there's some Korean mix in me, right? So I give him, and we take the test, and he has his done, and I have mine done, and so he's like a mix of everything. He's like a mix of white and Ghanaian, maybe somewhere black, somewhere in Africa, but he's like a mix of things. I think he's got, yeah, like you, like a whole bunch of
straight mutt.
Yeah, like a whole bunch of mix of things. And me, I come back. Guess what I come back as?
100% Chinese.
Yes.
Stop it.
Yes. 100% Chinese.
That's
Isn't that funny?
wild. Yeah,
funny?
that is
Yeah.
funny.
So I was joking on another one where like I'm made in China. Straight up.
Slap a sticker on the bottom of your
I know.
foot.
I'm gonna have to make a T-shirt. This is
That's
like
so
Art and Hustle.
funny.
Made in China.
China.
Yeah, a
oh
little
my
stamp.
god, I would rock that.
A little
hell out
stamp
of
of
that.
it.
That is so funny.
Yeah.
LindaLCheung.
Yeah.
Art and Hustle.
Made in China. Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta make one. I gotta design
love
one.
that.
I'm gonna put it onto my Shopify
Yes.
store.
Yes, I have to share that link too.
Yeah, the
I'm gonna
Shopify
put
store.
that.
And just so everybody knows, if you're listening to this, if you can help us out, the best thing to how to help an artist is to like, subscribe,
And
follow,
follow.
and also comment.
Share.
Share it with your friends, share it on your feed, share
With
it
your
with
family.
your stories, anything, and to get them to click that button and to make a comment, because it's all about the interaction.
Yep.
So we'll have people who message us and give us great feedback, or make a comment on Facebook and give us feedback. But if you could find out like which social media we're trying to push more and help us with that one, because like I'm trying to push YouTube and
Yeah.
try to do my podcast, so I need people to click subscribe. So I'm at like 279.
That's really good.
It's good, right?
That is.
I mean, like when I started it,
I still have like 40, and I was
Well, that's
doing
what I mean.
YouTube years ago.
yeah,
It's
like when I
it's
first
hard.
started, it was really little. I don't know what it was. But now I'm at 279. So
Getting
like,
there.
so with each podcast, I get one more follower. So I just need to put out one
As
podcast
many,
every day.
yeah.
So, but yeah, if you guys can click subscribe, add a comment, like, share, that'd be awesome. Get your friends and family to help us, because our friends help us, but then we need like them to get somebody else.
Yeah, their friends.
Their
and then
friends, their
and,
coworkers,
you know,
anything.
the cycle continues.
Yes. Okay, so let's go back to your story of now you found your dad, you talked to all the aunts and cousins and stuff. Now what's happening with him?
So he still no contact, doesn't want anything to do with me.
Still? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah. And
I thought this would
it's a
change. I thought the
shame.
story would change.
It does.
Okay.
It does. It takes a huge shift.
Oh, okay,
but,
good. But he was acting like
yes,
okay.
for like a good 9 months, he didn't want.
He didn't want anything to do with you.
Yeah.
Even though he said, well, you know, you look like a nice person, and if I had a daughter, I would
Want it to be
you. Yeah.
Which he already has daughters, but
Yeah. Why would you say that?
yeah, I don't know. I
Okay.
don't know. But
Okay.
yeah, so he actually talked to one of my sisters, and she was kind of hesitant to have a relationship with me at first because
Really?
of what he was telling her.
Really?
You know? And of course, you know, it's her dad, you know, she grew up around him, so in her
Oh.
mind, she's like, I'm kind of gonna believe my dad, but she had a really strong feeling that I was telling the truth.
Yeah.
And that I
Yeah.
was her sister.
And you were talking to her and telling her the
Briefly,
story. A little
yeah.
bit, a little bit? Okay.
And after like a month or so, she started to come around, and she was like, you know, I believe you, because he put her through things as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, everybody goes through things in life, and
Yeah.
and you know, you learn from it and grow from it.
Yeah.
Mistakes happen, but so a few months passed by. This was in, I want to say in September when I contacted him, the beginning of September. So October, November, December, January, February. 5 months go by, and I had this random trip to Florida with my
I remember seeing it on social media.
Yeah,
Because you
with-
said I'm meeting somebody for the first time.
my grandma.
Right? Okay.
Yeah.
I saw that. I was like, oh.
So I went down to Florida. I was there for 10 days, and one of the days I took like 3 hours and went to go see that side of the family. So I went to my grandmother's house, my bio dad's mom.
Yeah.
And as soon as she saw me, she called me my cousin's name. And when I said grandma, abuela in Spanish instead of titi, because my cousin is my grandma's sister's daughter.
Okay.
So it's her niece.
Yeah.
So she's used to her calling her aunt. Titi.
Oh, okay.
So when I called her abuela for grandma, her mouth dropped to the floor and she was like, "Oh my God, you're so beautiful." Like she instantly knew that it was me.
Really? Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Because, you know, my aunts and uncles and
Have
stuff told her
Okay.
about me, and she was saying that it was crazy because a month or so before I contacted them, she was saying, she was very religious. So she was saying that she was praying that, you know, if she had any other grandchildren,
Really?
for God to bring them to light. And then 2 months later, here I am, coming into the family and telling them that,
Oh my
you know,
God.
I'm her granddaughter. Like, hey, you know, you got another one. Yeah.
And another one. Another one.
So that was really crazy.
Wow.
For her, for me, for everybody involved in the family.
Because I saw that on social media, so I was like, oh, I wonder what story that is.
Yep.
You know?
So that was me meeting my bio dad side of the family.
Wow.
I met almost all of my aunts and uncles when I went, aside from one aunt.
Wow.
She lives in Texas.
Wow.
So since we were in Florida, you know, everybody lives out there.
Yeah.
And
so they all came out and had like a party or food and stuff.
They were already having a party for my little cousin whose birthday it was.
Oh my gosh.
So all the family was
already there.
Gonna be there.
Yeah.
And then when they found out that I was coming, it was like, oh my God, you know, like,
but thank
let's
God
all
that
go.
they were being welcoming and like telling you about your family.
Oh my God, yeah. It was so crazy. When I first got out of the car and started walking up, my uncle was right there.
Did you start bawling?
And I was like, "Are you my uncle?" And he's like, "I guess so. You're my niece, right?" We look almost identical.
Oh my
It's
God.
So weird.
That's crazy.
So weird. So then, you know, a few months pass by. May rolls around and Mother's Day comes. And I get a call from my bio dad. He's like FaceTiming me on Facebook Messenger.
Which is weird because you haven't really been FaceTiming.
I haven't talked to him at all.
Oh.
Like since he told me he didn't want, you know.
Yeah.
So I answered very reluctantly because I was so nervous. I didn't know what he was going to say.
Yeah.
And I didn't have makeup on, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
Because he was able to clearly see what I look like.
Yeah.
And I'm his twin.
No.
I am his twin.
Oh my God.
It's insane.
Really?
Me and him look exactly alike.
Wow.
And he started off the conversation, you know, saying that he wanted to apologize
for his
behavior and his words. And, you know, he talked to my grandmother and she swears up and down that I look just like him, that I am his daughter, and that he needs to
own up
to it. Yeah.
So his family probably gave him a earful.
Oh, absolutely.
Right?
His mother gave him, I mean, most of his family did, but I think once his mother was like,
Oh,
listen,
yes.
this is my granddaughter.
This is a motherfucker.
Yeah, basically.
Like, get your shit together.
Yeah, because she's gonna be around the family.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you're gonna miss out on
they're,
it.
They're all like, listen, we love her, so get your shit together.
Yeah, basically. Or else you're gonna be watching your daughter, you know, be around your family and you're not gonna be involved.
Yeah.
So, since then, we've had a great relationship. You know, we've been getting to know each other a lot. And he actually left the woman that he was with. Yep.
Cheers
to that. I don't know where my water is.
Where's your water? Over there. Is that your water?
Or is it on the floor?
Oh.
It's on the floor.
There you go. Oh my God, we need to cheers to that.
Yes.
Cheers. Oh my God. Well, thank God for that.
Yeah, seriously. Me and her had a conversation before he ended up leaving.
Oh, really? Oh, tell us about that.
My aunt was like, listen, she wants to talk to you. I said, that's totally fine, but she better come at me correctly.
Yeah.
I don't want no attitude, you know, nothing like that. I
Yeah.
don't know who she is. She doesn't know who I am.
Yeah.
You know? So, as soon as she got on the phone, she's like, and what exactly is it that you guys talk about? What? Just like that. I'm like, listen, lady, that's something that you need to ask him yourself if you really want to know that. And it's none of your business what we talk about. Yeah. She made it seem like I was some young, sleazy girl trying to pick him up. Yeah, I'm like, listen, this is my dad, my bio dad.
You're acting like this is like a girl that he cheated on.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that. Like, but this is like completely
way different.
Yeah,
completely
she
different.
must be young.
Not really.
Really?
Not really.
Oh, then
I think
she's too old
like
to be acting
45.
Oh yeah, she's too old.
She's
to
in
be
her
acting stupid.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, she said that I was crazy. That I am sick in the head. I'm trying to break apart their family.
I can't believe she said that.
I couldn't either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
and she
shocking.
was very, very bold in that conversation. And I was like, listen, bitch.
Yeah.
Okay? Because she said something. I think she was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, she just started cursing at me. And I was like, listen, bitch.
Yeah.
Listen.
Now that you're cursing at me.
Now that you're cursing at me, now I'm going to get nasty.
Now we're going to take it to that next level. Like, don't curse at me. Like, and we can talk like civil adults.
And that's what I said
to
her.
People. Like, we just don't need to
I
be
said,
cursing.
I'm going to be 30 years old next year. I am not a child. Yeah. Don't try and speak to me like I'm one. Yeah. Because that's not the response you're going to get back. Yeah. It's not. Yeah. And she was not expecting me to have a mouth. She was like, you know what? Do whatever you want. I was like, well, thank you. I didn't realize I was asking you for permission. Yeah. Like, what is she? Oh my God. Well, thank God that he broke up with her. Yes. And she still stalks his page daily and still loves to write things on it. And well, then he should block her. She has also... Oh, but they have a kid. Yeah. They have a kid. He just turned 18, though. Oh, the kid turned 18? Well, that's good. Just turned 18. Unfortunately, though, I don't have a relationship with him. Okay. Because of the mother. Yeah. I could have in the beginning when they were still together. But, and this was before I had the conversation with her, I wanted to be respectful. Yeah. So since she didn't talk to me yet or, you know, wasn't really excited about my presence yet, I wanted to give her some time to, you know, come to terms with it. And then I would talk to him. Yeah. And, you know, I was so excited to have a little brother. So I'm like, I love him. You know, of course I want to talk to him. Yeah. But I also want to respect his mother's wishes. Yeah. And give her some time because he was a minor. Yeah. You know, and it bit me in the ass. Really? Why? It truly did. Why? Now he won't talk to me. Oh, now he won't talk to you. Yep. I message him every single month. Yeah. Once a month. And he won't talk for the past year and change, and he has not answered. So when he becomes a man and gets into his own skin, then, you know, hopefully he'll make those choices. Yeah. But right now, if you're being controlled by the mother, you won't be able to have a mind of your own. So hopefully in the future. And I've told him that in my messages too. Yeah. You know, like, if you want me to stop messaging you, let me know. You have to say is stop. Yeah. You know, like, just give me one word phrase, something. And like, he doesn't reply at all. He doesn't reply at all. But he reads them. He reads them, and, you know, I told him. He hasn't blocked you. He hasn't blocked me. Oh. So I told him, you know, in these messages, I still have hope that one day I will, you know, one day that I write to you, because I will continue to write to you if you answer. Maybe send in the podcast. Here's your message. Here's your story. I love you, little brother, and I'll always be here to listen to you. Yeah. It's just, you know, he's still young. At 18, you know, that's when I just started going through my real search and finding my birth parents. Yeah. And, you know, for him, he went almost 18 years of his life not knowing that he had, you know, another older sister. Yeah. And, it is what it is. Yeah. You know, unfortunately, I can't control every situation that I'm in. You can only control yours. Exactly. You know? So, one day. Yeah. We'll see what happens. And so now your birth dad is good now? Yeah, he's not with her. He did move to Florida. Okay. Oh, so he's closer to the family now.
Well, that's
he
good.
lives with one of my aunts.
What part of Florida are they in?
West Palm Beach.
Oh my God, my family is in Florida. I think
Really?
I told you. My
you did tell me that.
sister is in Boynton Beach, and my brother, where is he? I think he's in West Palm.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
West
awesome.
Palm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in West
Yeah,
Palm.
my sister used to be in Delray, so they're right there. So
Literally, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then my grandma's in Palm Bay,
Palm Bay,
which is like an hour and a half from West Palm.
Okay. All right. Wow. That's some deep story.
Yeah.
That's, that's a lot of stuff to
unpack.
I mean, it's nice to be able to unpack that. And now you're at 30 years old, so almost 30. Almost 30. And so this has been like a huge journey for you to
the past
get
2
to
years have been
to get
wild.
to your truth, because like it's part of your history and you want to know.
Oh, absolutely. And I found out so much history.
Yeah.
From my grandma, you know, where I'm from in Puerto Rico, and from my late grandfather who passed a few years back, and you know, his side of the family that I still haven't really touched much on. Like, I know that I have aunts and uncles and cousins on that side. I've matched to a few of them, and I have talked to some of them from my paternal grandfather's side. But you know, my bio dad isn't close with that side of the family.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't really close with his father either. There was a lot of, you know, trauma within that relationship itself. So, you know, I still have a lot to do when it comes to family and finding out different things, still meeting different people that I want to meet. So how does it make you, well, how did it make you feel before when you were doing these searches, and have you come to a better peace now? If I'm being completely honest, it felt like there was a massive hole. Yeah, and now that I've met them and I know who they are, that hole has been filled. Aww. So it's definitely healing, very, very healing. Because I have answers that I never ever imagined I would get. It's been like how long of a journey now? It's 28 years that I was searching, and you know, first got some real information on my bio dad's side, you know, because all I ever really knew growing up was about my bio mom. You know, I had little information on her, but enough to where I could, you know, have an imagination about it. Yeah, but you had nothing on him. I had nothing on him. So he was just like where he was at the time that him and my birth mom used to, you know, meet up. And then a few names, but not even like full names, you know, like a nickname I had. And then for him too, I didn't even have his real name. Wow. So it's like, it's crazy. I didn't have much. Okay. The paperwork, you just didn't remember the name that was on there, right? Yeah, which is the name that she wrote down. Yeah. Because he wasn't involved in any of the process. Oh, okay. Yeah, and that's like a whole nother freaking story about my, you know, legal adoption and everything that my parents had to go through in order to adopt me. Was it really hard? I wouldn't say really hard, but it was definitely a lengthy process. Really? Yeah. They had to, you know, because my parents wanted to do it legally and not, you know, in a crazy manner or anything like that. So I don't know how it is now, but back in the 90s, it was, you know, you had to get a lawyer and you know, you had to speak with an agency, and then if one of the parents isn't, or the bio parents isn't involved in the situation, legally you have to put out like an ad in the newspaper looking for them. Oh. So you have to do that for 45 days. Oh, keep that in the paper. So in case they're looking for you. Looking, and you know, they find it and they're like, oh, okay, here she is, you know. But that never happened. Okay. No one came forward for him. Yeah. And my parents were able to adopt me. I was 2 days old. Wow, 2 days old. My mom was at the hospital when I was born. So she saw me the day that I was born. Really? Oh, wow. Yep. Her and my birth mom met when she was about 5 to 6 months pregnant with me. So she was able to kind of see the belly develop, you know, for the last couple of months. I'm not sure if she went to doctor's appointments, but I know that they would meet up for lunch and stuff like that, and just talk about, you know, how her pregnancy is going, if she's staying safe, and, you know, not doing crazy things, which she was. She was getting into fights when she was like 9 months pregnant with you at bars.
Really?
She told my mom about a story. She went to a bar with one of her girlfriends, and something happened. Someone said something, and she ended up in the alley next to the bar, kicking someone's ass while she was 9 months pregnant.
9 months pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And not much has changed since then.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So.
That's crazy.
Yeah. It definitely is. That was some interesting news to swallow.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously she was in
not a very dark.
Yeah, like she was in a bad space in her life.
It hasn't really changed.
No, she hasn't gotten out of that hole.
No. Well, I think in the lab. Okay. I think in the,
we don't need to be perfect here.
I know. Perfection is not
boring.
real.
Someone said that perfection is boring, and there's no such thing as perfection.
Yeah.
If you look at Mother Nature, Mother Nature is just growing and doing whatever. It's beauty in the imperfection.
Natural.
Yeah.
But I forget what I was gonna say.
Oh, I was asking you about your mom, and you were saying that she got into a fight when she was 9 months pregnant, right? And we're like, has anything changed with her? Like,
yes, no, she
still is like that.
From what I know, yeah.
Yeah.
The last time I really had a conversation with her, she was telling me some nutty things about her life and mental health.
Now,
this was about 2 years ago when I took the test.
Yeah.
And after I had found out that I have a sibling from her, I cut her off.
Because she was lying, so she didn't tell you anything for like 10 years that you had a relationship with her.
That was the only thing I ever cared about.
Yeah.
Was if I had siblings. You know?
And she didn't want to tell you?
I put it in my head that I don't care about my bio parents.
Oh.
I only care if I have siblings.
That was your focus.
That was my focus as a kid.
Focus.
And it stayed all throughout teenage years, you know, up until adulthood. And so when I found my bio dad, not to like backtrack, but I didn't have expectations from him. Okay. And that's why I was kind of okay with his reaction.
See, that's good to know because like we're always like focusing on a certain thing of a goal that we're trying to figure out. So it's good to know that.
My goal was always to know if I had siblings. Okay. That's all I ever cared about.
So now I understand why it hurt you so much when she didn't tell you for those 10 years.
Yeah.
Now I understand why.
Because that's all I cared about. All I didn't give a shit about her, him, you know, whoever. But a sibling to me was always, and I don't know why. Because
that was your goal to find out.
Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, my childhood, having 2 stepsisters that I didn't get along with.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so in my head, that's the only sibling relationship that I knew.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I would go home, I used to beg my mom, like, can you give me a brother?
Yeah.
Like, please, I just want a brother. Like, I want a sibling, and I didn't even want a sister. I just want a brother.
How old were your siblings, your sisters? Older than you?
Oh, yeah.
Older?
Yeah. One was 3.5 years older, one was 6 years older.
Okay. And are they adopted also, or they are biological?
No. They're my stepsisters, so it was my stepdad's kids.
Okay.
Yeah, but I don't see them. I haven't seen them since I was probably like 10, if that. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, girl, that's a whole nother podcast that we could do.
A whole another podcast.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got a whole trunk full of crazy childhood stories that I could share.
Wow. Oh my God. Well, that's insane. But I want to thank you so much.
Thank you.
This was amazing.
This is having me on the podcast.
I know. I'm so excited.
Thank you for doing the live with me too.
I know. I'm so much better now. I'm not naked anymore, so I think it's a lot better. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And we're definitely going to have to do this again. Right? Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye, guys.